Well, hello everybody. My name is Scott Hayne.
And I'm Adina Hayne.
And together we're Hayne Photographers. We're photographers here in Norfolk, Virginia. And we wanted to talk with you today about releasing your images online and some strategies that we use to use social networks such as Facebook and Twitter to our best advantage to get our images out to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. And we found out that there's a sequence and an order to releasing our images. And we wanted to chat with you about kind of a 5-step process of releasing the images.
Starting our business just 2 years ago, we really didn't have the funds available to traditionally market our images. So we came up with some other strategies and free forms of marketing that we could use to really impact the world with our images. I knew that from the beginning that it was important to get eyes on our work, and I knew that if we got eyes on our work that the business would come. So we're going to share with you a few steps that we use with one single image to lengthen the impact of that one image and to get it into as many audiences as possible.
Now, of course, whenever we have a shoot, we have lots of images to go through, and of course you need to pick out your best images to go out, to go online and go on Facebook and go on the blog. But the order that they go in, I think, is very important. And of course, the first step that we do on the first day of our release, and this may be a few days after the shoot itself, but the first place we release them is on the blog. And each area, Facebook, blog, Twitter, whatever that may be, your Facebook group page, each of those has a different audience to them. And we release it on our blog first because that kind of has a more broad kind of appeal. We get photographers that look at our blog, we get clients, we have prospective clients that look at the blog, and we felt that the best thing to do would be to go ahead and release our images the first time, or the first round would be to release it on the blog itself. Second day, after the blog has been released and after the images are up on the blog, would be to go ahead and tweet them, put them on Twitter. And we use a little link on the actual blog itself, and it's called Sociable, and it's a little plug-in that can go on your blog. And we have a WordPress blog, and there are these little buttons on the bottom of each post, and you can simply click that Twitter link, and what it's going to do is it's going to tweet that, hey, we have a blog post, and it'll encourage people to come check out the blog via Twitter, because again, there's a lot of different people on all of our different networks, so even though we released it on the blog, maybe somebody didn't see it, and they will see it on Twitter.
So just to recap, day number 1, we're going to blog the entry on our blog and leave it there for 24 hours for our blog readership. On day number 2, we're going to tweet that entry with a shortened URL so that it drives the business back to our blog. So we've had it there for a total of 48 hours. On day number 3, we're going to use that Sociable widget that's located at the bottom of every one of our blog entries, and we're just going to click the F for Facebook. And what that's going to do is going to take the first image from our blog entry and a shortened description of the blog entry and post it on our Facebook wall.
Now, the great thing about this Sociable icon is that when you click it, it doesn't actually put the post itself on Facebook. All it's doing is basically putting a link on there so people can click on the link that's on Facebook, and instead of just reading the blog post on Facebook, it actually sends them back to the blog, which is great for SEO reasons, because you want people to come to your blog, not necessarily your Facebook. So that's what this Sociable link does at the bottom of each post, is when you click Facebook, it puts the link to the actual post on Facebook, and then people can click that and get back to your blog, which is where you really want them, because that's what's going to help out your search engine optimization.
So we would encourage you that if you're using any kind of RSS feeder on your Facebook, that you take that off, because it truly is all about search engine optimization, and everything that we do, or for Scott and I personally, we want to drive them back to our blog and our website, right, where that's going to help our search engine optimization.
So those are the first 3 days that we've talked about there. We release it on a blog, release it on Twitter, release it on Facebook, but there's still 2 more steps that we can do to get more exposure to your images. And what the 4th day is basically we create an album on Facebook where the actual images are on Facebook themselves. And remember, each time that we do this, each time we put it on the blog and we put it on Twitter and put it on Facebook, it's actually putting a little post on Facebook, so it's rolling to the top of people's news feeds so that they can see that, hey, they've got another shoot. And maybe there were 50 other posts on that person's wall, and your post kind of got scrolled down and they never saw it. So by having multiple days of release, there's more of a chance that that person is actually going to see that you've released something on the blog. And then there's also another demographic of people that actually follow us on our group page, and that they need to be able to see these images as well. Plus, you know, it's just great to have, again, another release of the images. So there's actually been 5 different releases of these images, and each time we do that, it's showing up on Facebook, and it rolls up to the top of people's news feeds, and they see this. So 5 different chances of people seeing that you've had a really cool shoot and are viewing your images.
It may seem like a lot of work that we're doing to get our images out there, but one thing we need to remember that most people have a lot of friends on Facebook. So the whole idea is catching people and getting as many eyes on one image as possible. For Scott and I, we have thousands of friends, so you may post something on your Facebook, and if you posted it at 11 o'clock when I was out on a shoot, I may not see that. It may fall off of my wall. So by using this method of releasing, we're just getting more of a chance to get eyes on our images, and it's all about that. That's all the marketing that we do, and we really depend on this. Also, you may be thinking it seems like a lot of work, but it really isn't. Scott's doing the blog post one time, and remember, we're just using that sociable widget for the next 2 steps, and then the 3rd and 4th steps are basically just a click of the mouse. So we're only doing the job once and then going through some very minimal steps to prolong the impact of those images.
So of course we all are on Facebook, and we all have blogs, and we all tweet. So I'm not saying go do that. I'm assuming most of us are doing that already. But I think there's a more effective way that I think we can be releasing our images, and that's releasing them kind of in a duplicate way, but you're hitting different demographics with each release. So that's what we were mainly talking about today, and I hope that it helps you out in the strategy and the order of releasing your images, because if you're just putting them on Facebook and then walking away, there's so much more that you can do. You can tweet them, you can blog them, you can put them on your group page, and if you do it all in one shot, which I see a lot of people do, they just put them all out there. They're on their blog, they're tweet about them, put them on Facebook, all at the same time. That's just one shot. It's a one-shot deal, and you better cross your fingers that somebody's going to see those. And you will. People will see them, but the chances of somebody missing them are pretty high. So just spread out the release of those images across a broader range of time, and I think it'll help the visibility of your images.